pretty but never get asked out, here are 9 psychological reasons as to why. Firstly, you might have an intimidating presence. Research shown that people who are perceived attractive are often considered unattainable or out of reach. It's the beautiful person effect. People fear rejection. Second reason, stereotyping. Unfortunately, society often makes assumptions about pretty people. There was a psychological study done that showed that people assume that attractive individuals have fewer struggles and are more likely to be self-absorbed. So maybe people automatically assume that you're superficial or self-centered just of the way you look. Number 3, your body language plays a crucial role. It can really affect how other people perceive and approach you. So make sure that you don't have the closed off body language. Be approachable and open, because if you're constantly like this, it creates a psychological barrier between you and other people. Finally, maybe you're just misreading signals. If you don't pay close attention to the way someone looks at you, to the way someone talks to you, to the way their body language is when they're around you, you might miss the signals that they actually like you. So be more mindful and observant. Learn how to read people well. Follow me to do that? Oh no, that was too cringe.
I'm gonna be single forever because I matched with this guy earlier today and we sent a couple messages back and forth and just banter messages. And then he was like, "Are you free this weekend?" And I was like, "I'm free tonight." And he was like, "Would you want to hang out?" And I was like, "Do what?" And he was like, "Oh, we could grab ice cream." And I was like, "Okay, I'm down for ice cream." And then he was like, "Okay, what time works for you?" And I said, "How's 9?" And that was an hour ago. And then I started thinking about it more and I got anxious. So I unmatched.
Why is it that people that are in relationships are the most annoying people in the world when it comes to dating advice? They're like, "Well, you know what? It'll happen when you least expect it." I'm like, okay, here I am not expecting it at all. And here it is not happening. Or they'll go, "You know what? You should just enjoy being single. You can do anything you want." I'm like, yeah, alone. The thing I want to do is be with someone. And I don't see people go home and make your muffins and cuddle up with your husband and just leave me alone because your advice sucks.
So I'm about to go on a date. And I have to get all my weirdness out before I see him. Because I wanna impress him. He's so awesome.
Imagine having the most amazing date with someone and you go to say your goodbyes and you see that they have a Buc-ee's bumper sticker on their car.
Suspect has a million dudes in her inbox and she only responds to the ones that treat her bad.
Suspect only responds to Mexicans. I repeat, only Mexicans.
Suspect has more kids in the sky than the ones that are CPS cases.
Suspect thought that getting pregnant by one dude who has 2 kids already was a good idea.
Suspect's been in school for longer than 6 years and still doesn't have her nursing degree.
Suspect works 60 hours plus a week so her baby daddy doesn't have to do shit but relax.
Suspect acts like she has daddy issues and her dad get along. I repeat,
Suspect thinks she can hold her liquor, but 5 shots in, she's throwing up and on the floor.
Suspect claims she's eating healthy but can pound down a whole cake.
Suspect is on her way to Texas Roadhouse because she loves those buns.
Suspect didn't learn how to do her lashes until she was 25. I repeat.
Suspect got her feet in front of Amazon, went to the hospital, and went back the next day.
Middle-class black people, respectable, that think that they're above people are more dangerous to them.
So what I want to say is a little bit different to what their whole conversation was about, but that caption made me just want to snip this bit. A few videos ago, I did 5 types of guys to stay away from. And in the video, one of my points was the finance bro. I've said before, and I say this all the time, I would never date a corporate man. I don't date corporate men. They're not my type. They're not my vibe. And guys, trust me, I'm not saying this just to say this. I am saying this for a reason. And I also want to premise this before everyone starts. I'm a corporate girl myself. I'm a finance babe myself, okay? So let's just, yeah. I predominantly date black men. And I have found that black men in that space, they have major complexes. And the thing is, I don't even blame them for having these complexes because I have seen it firsthand. I've seen it play out in the corporate environment firsthand. And I can do a whole story time on that another day. But low-key, high-key, I have found personally, from my own experience, that black men in those spaces, they kind of feel like they are a bit better than their other black counterparts. They're very cocky, very arrogant. And they hold this finance career so dear to their heart. And in that video, I made a comment and I said, and in that video, I'm pretty sure I said something along the lines of, these men are so passionate about their career. And a guy in the comments was like, what's wrong with being passionate about your career? There's nothing wrong with being passionate about your career. It's the energy that comes off with these guys. It's not passion, it's almost arrogance. And I find that mentality so icky. And I always say, I don't date corporate men. I don't want to, and I never will.
So that's not the same thing as these strong, independent women and these modern women with their careers being passionate about it and getting on here crying and destroying their makeup. Oh man, he didn't think that I was good enough to be with him because I was strong and I was independent and I can fight for myself and I can cook my own meals and pay my own rent and I didn't need him. Maybe I'll never find a guy. Okay, if you're talking about finance bros like this, black men specifically like this, then is it fair game for strong, independent women? Is it fair game for men to talk about you like that? Of course not.
So you remember I talked about before how decentering men is a trend, but it is a beneficial trend to women once they get in the rhythm or the habits of focusing more energy on themselves versus a relationship, right? I came across a video that I probably should expand on more. And I say that because a lot of women are going to start decentering men for the sole benefit of waiting on Mr. Right. And that may not happen. And I'm not saying this to discourage anybody or, you know, speak negatively on anybody. If that's what you want, that's what you want. But I'm just saying, like, reality of it is not everybody's going to get married. Or you might, and the quality of the person you married might not be up to par. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the goal, I feel like, of decentering men should be, if you get to the point where you are married and you have kids and you're happy, then great. But you should also be just as great and satisfied with your life if that doesn't happen. I remember when the conversation started, there was somebody on here that asked a question, or maybe she shared something about a therapist, and she said, okay, so if God tells you that you're not going to get married, what would your life look like? And a lot of women had no idea what their life would look like because they were so focused on a relationship and so focused on men that they had no idea what their life looked like or would look like if getting married, having kids, being in love wasn't on the table. I don't know about y'all, but that hit me. And I was like, I'm not going to be that old, bitter woman who didn't live life. And, you know, just because she was waiting on somebody, you know what I'm saying, to come save her or something like that. So I'm just like, I'm going to live my life now. I'm going to be satisfied with my life now. I am going to build the life that I deserve, whether a man is in it or not. I'm not going to wait for a man to come and save me or come and build the life that I know I deserve. So
I just don't know why they wouldn't be doing that anyway. Like it. So I'm reading this little AI blurb on Google. It says decentering men is a lifestyle that involves unlearning patriarchal norms and not tying one's worth to their role in a relationship. It can also mean not putting men at the center of one's life. And it includes a few ways: focusing on yourself. That means understanding your needs and desires, focusing on your health and well-being, and giving yourself grace. That's not about decentering men. That's about taking care of yourself. That has nothing to do with men. And then the second one is honoring your commitment, making commitments to yourself and honoring them. Again, if you're with a man, then, you know, it depends on what it is, but you should still be taking care of yourself, and you have a partner. So you should be taking care and prioritizing your partner as well, because your partner is going to have to do that. They're going to have to make commitments to you, and you're going to have to make commitments to them. So I don't understand how you would decenter men in a relationship, or if you're looking for a man, how you would do that. You're supposed to be making commitments to yourself anyway if you're not in a relationship, and keeping those commitments. But if you want to be in a relationship, then the commitment is to work on bettering yourself so that you can pour out into somebody else. That's what being in a relationship is. If you're not wanting to be in a relationship, then you're not decentering men. You just don't want to be in a relationship. And then the last one, it says subverting patriarchal patriarchal, I keep on saying patriarchal norms, not tying your worth to your role as a wife, mother, girlfriend, or any other relationship where women are expected to labor. I don't understand that, because in a relationship, you are laboring. Like I just said, you're pouring yourself out into another person. In the vows, in the very vows that you take, you're saying, I'm going to take care of you in sickness and in health. I'm committing to you. I'm giving you my vow that I'm going to be with you for better or for worse. That's labor. That's work. Even the very act of being in a relationship is work, and it's hard work. So even if you wanted to make the argument for being a girlfriend, you're a wife and you're a mother. You have kids, you have a husband. You're supposed to be pouring yourself out for them. You can still make the commitment to yourself. I want to get this done and I want to do this, but your schedule kind of shapes around your family. Obviously, you can have conversations about what you would like to do with your husband, and you guys need to work together to get whatever he has to get done, whatever you have to get done, whatever the kids need done, and for the family as a whole. But this decentering men as a wife and a mother, I'll leave the girlfriend out of it for now, but as a wife, as a mother, doesn't make a whole lot of sense at all, because that's what a man has to tie his worth to: protecting and providing. A good man protects and provides. A good husband protects and provides. That's the patriarchy. Nobody's saying not to continue doing that. So how are you going to decenter men? Are we supposed to decenter women? Oh, I don't want to protect and provide. My worth is not tied to that. My worth is tied to going to the pool every day and swimming a couple of laps and then going shopping. My kids don't need me like that. My values are no longer that. You know how stupid men would sound if they said that? Now reverse that and hear how you sound.
Yeah. Do me a favor, ladies, whenever you're using a man for his money, don't feel no remorse. The same way how they purposely get a woman's feelings attached just so they can have access to her body, don't feel no remorse. It's the same thing. And ladies, stop being scared to ask men for money, because they're not scared to ask for what they want. A man is quick to be like, oh, well, like, what's up? Can I get some? This is not. You know what you do? You show him your Cash App and you say, oh my, it's kind of empty. You could give me some. You could show me some money. And then when they hit you with the, oh, I would, but I don't got Cash App, say, oh, it's okay. I got Zelle. I got PayPal. I got Venmo. I have Apple Pay.
It's in its finest form. Period. Don't think about saying men are objectifying me and men are not treating me right when you are so bold on the internet to say stuff like this. You have now placed yourself in the worst part, the bottom part of society. But keep at it. This makes perfect sense to you. Keep at it.
Women only care about money. Women only care about money. Here's the thing. If men could collectively figure out how to have a net positive impact on women's lives without money, then we wouldn't care about money.
Men aren't being as accountable for being like a protective and nurturing and secure example these days.
We don't have to, remember, because we're decentering women. So our value is not tied to being that anymore. But go ahead.
Men have lost the incentive to do so. I can only talk about my family, because I know my family intimately. Right? So my grandparents, for example, like the world my grandparents grew up in, every man was basically guaranteed a wife in some way, shape, or form. It wasn't very hard for an average man to find a wife. The most beautiful woman in Boise, Idaho can get flown out to a yacht in Dubai, can get flown out to a 5-star Michelin restaurant in London, just because we're all now connected. This is not the only cause of all these problems, but the result of that is that now the average man doesn't see anyone around him who is giving him the time of day, who is remotely interested in dating him. The women who 2 generations ago were basically on his level, or at least everyone perceived that to be the case, he's on this level and she perceives herself to be kind of up here because she's getting attention from guys who are up here.
In girl world, Halloween is the one night a year when a girl can dress like a total and no other girls can say anything about it. The hardcore girls just wear lingerie and some form of animal ear. No one told me about this rule, so I showed up like this.
Alright, I really need some advice and help on this TikTok situation with life. I can't, it's like, I don't want to cry about this because it's kind of like stupid that I'm being made to feel horrible about myself when all I do is make little TikToks in my room. Like, and because I like older men, it's a problem. Like, I want to literally cry. I want to literally cry because, like, imagine your preferences, more or less, like, who you like getting, like, being the center of attention. It's just so weird because all of you are older than me. Why does what I do matter? I don't know. I'm just making little TikToks in my apartment. And sorry, maybe I got online and said I like older men. Well, I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm sorry that it's this way. I didn't mean to get on here and literally start crying about it, but like, it is so upsetting to be single and then come online and have the confidence to say this is who I like or this is what I'm looking for, and then a whole town of people just decide to deem me as a horrible person. Like, I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to write a book. I'm gonna have to write a book about what it's like being single where I live as a woman who's trying to find her confidence in not only herself but in her body and in who she likes, and be confident and loud and unapologetically herself. And you know who taught me that? Lana Del Rey and Taylor Swift. And I'm literally gonna just cry.
Exactly.
Because I think it's so upsetting that I can't just be myself off the clock. And it's jokes, it's funny, it's humor, and it's a light. And it's a light in my life. And this is harmless stuff.
It's not a light. You talked about being a woman of the night. That's not funny because you were actually looking like a woman of the night. And then not only did you show that to the internet, you probably went out there in real life looking like that. This is what men talk about. You find these little moments to do what you were actually thinking in the first place. You talk about men stepping out and cheating, not necessarily encouraging it, but expecting a man to cheat. Oh, well, that's just the way he is. And men are dogs. They just cheat. They just can't hold themselves. They just can't control it. That's just what they are. They're just, basically, in so many words, they're just pigs. That's just the way they are. I don't know. I don't even know why they would look at a woman that way. I don't even know why they just can't discipline themselves. But then you get out here and you dress in whatever you were dressed in. And then when people say, what the heck are you doing? You look like somebody that is for the streets. You look like somebody that is open for business. Stop that. Quit doing that. How do you expect a man to look on you with any type of class when you don't have any class yourself? You seem like a nice lady, but you're getting all your influence from the wrong places. Lana Del Rey? Taylor Swift? I saw that on TV. Maybe you shouldn't watch so much TV anymore. Maybe you should let TV be TV. Because if you're going to trash a man for following an instinct that he should control, maybe you should control that instinct for validation. Oh, did I strike a nerve? Oh, I just want to be validated. I just want to look pretty. Oh, I just want to do this for one time. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Go back in there and put some clothes on. Dress up like a bumblebee. If you're feeling real spicy, go get a hornet suit or something like that, or get a chili suit or whatever it is, a chili pepper suit. But stop putting yourself out there and expecting men, people in general, to accept your bad behavior. Back once again, if a man were to go out there, step out, even not even step out, but be looking at other women, he needs to get that under control. Period. Like, you need to stop looking at every single thing. Bro, what are you doing? But when you want to come out there and show everything off, empowering, beautiful, fantastic. Nah, man, I can't roll with you on that one.